Hello and welcome back to the lead card coverage here for the 2020 Michigan State Championships. We are here for the final 9 holes. I'm Zach O'Hare, and on the commentator's mic with me, I've got Donut. How you doing, Donut?
I'm doing great.
Thanks again to all our sponsors for helping us get the event off the ground. It's always great to come out here and record the states every chance we get. We're going to take a quick look here at our top 8 cutoff here. So the top 8 players here are going to be competing for a final position for payouts here and for the championship. Marwede with the 3-stroke lead shot 2 hot rounds. Previous round was a 50, 10, 22 rated round. He's looking in a really good spot here with a 3-stroke lead. Next closest to him is Geoff Bennett. He's doing very well as well, 7-time state champion. You never count him out of it. He was within 1 stroke in the previous round. We'll see what he can do here.
Third on the card, we've got Kyle Williams shooting a crazy 46 for the hot round. I think he was 3 strokes better than the next hot round from George Bino. And filling out the card, joining us for the first time, we have Kane. I'm going to say Wiechmann.
Yeah, really.
Only rated 949, really showing up to play today, playing well above his rating.
Absolutely. It's always great to have a new guy on the channel, as well as a big support. Everyone in the area really was supporting him and trying to cheer him on. Hole 13 here, 330 feet, so we're going to kind of start in the back end of the course and work our way around for these final 9 holes. Trying to really jam something low and into the hill, try to get a baby skip up to the top.
Final 9 card. Teeing off first, sponsored by Innova, Champion Disc, Great Lakes Disc, Tilly's, and Mitten Bags, Andrew Marwede. Woo! Woo! Good.
All right, so we got Andrew Marwede off the first shot here. You don't really want to air the shot over the top. You'll leave yourself, with a 100-foot comebacker, and if you keep it too low to the hill, you'll roll down.
Definitely want to jam it into the hill and get your skip up to the basket, but Andy leaving his too low, hitting the bush, and picking up and rolling just a mile.
Next on the tee, your current and 7-time state champion, Geoff Bennett.
Geoff Bennett, reigning state champion here, still within striking distance.
He's got his MVP driver in his hand. Not sure what that is. Looks like he's making a good correction.
Yeah, a lot higher than it was yesterday.
Yep.
Driving himself into the bush that Andy was in.
Next on the tee, the man who hates euchre, Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams here, we've seen him compete on the channel in 2019 states. He was in that feature card, but didn't quite make it onto the lead card for the next couple rounds.
Right. In his introduction there, the tournament director was asking people for what they wanted to say about them, and he wrote down a little sarcastically that he hated euchre, and they took it seriously, and so they announced it.
New up-and-coming star, Kane Wiechmann.
He's playing in the wrong state championships to not be a fan of euchre for sure. Kane, first shot on the channel. Perfect.
Yeah.
Can't beat that on a pretty difficult hole.
Yeah.
As we're seeing from the lead card of the state championships. Kyle with maybe a run here. Pretty much a layup.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure he stays safe. And this is a little more ground action than I think he was hoping for, but he's going to have a putt from there. Marwede really sawed off. I think he's got his spider pig here. Going to try to pitch up and out. He's got to slow down. Yeah, he's going to catch. Going to give him a bit of a tester there with that elevated basket.
Geoff definitely said that the sign was in his way of running it to be able to lay out super far. I'm not sure if he would have ran it anyways. That's just a huge death putt.
Yeah, it's really risky. I mean, but for him right now, he's got to lay it all on the line if he's going to try to catch up to Marwede.
And Andy just absolutely cashed from the putting green. Pretty easy tap in from a guy of his caliber.
You can see the other cards also playing those final 9 holes. The other divisions also made cuts to their top positions, and so they're playing out in front of the MPO card here.
Kyle with a really tough putt because he squats so low on his straddle putt converts. Kane with an easy birdie. Beautiful shot from him. He's going to put himself up sort of in contention, maybe not for the lead, but some better placement.
Yeah, just trying to get that extra money if you can get it. Headed now into hole 14, 253 feet. Pretty straight shot here. You just got to avoid the trees here. The foliage, as you mentioned in the previous round, are a little higher up now, so you just got to keep it low and just avoid the trunks here and try to get yourself a 2-look. Kane was a little quick, ready to go there. Wasn't ready for it, but able to get the whole shot there as he ends up hitting that first kind of guardian tree there. So he's going to have a long look from there. Marwede with his blue signature pig again. And nearly an ace run there.
Yeah, really comfortable shot, especially with that disc. Geoff going back to the tomahawk after failing it last round. We'll see if he can keep it lower. Definitely keeps it much lower than last round, and this is what he's looking for. He's not trying to park it. He's not trying to ace it. He's just trying to get into the circle, and that play is really consistent at doing just that.
Yeah, and his putting, as long as he's in the circle, he's doing. His putting is strong enough to where he'll be able to take care of business there. So Kyle hitting the same tree Kane did, and he kicked off to the right a little bit. Little float run from 80 feet.
Leaving it short. Easy 3, though. Kyle stepping it in for a huge putt. Can't quite convert. He's going to be happy with that comebacker, though.
Yeah, strong putter is Kyle. We'll look forward to see what he can do here. As Geoff able to convert on his birdie.
Yeah, Kyle's more of a traditional disc golfer, as the two guys in the lead are more specialists in what they do in their skills. Kyle throws a backhand when he should throw a backhand. He throws a forehand when he should throw a forehand, and everything is just pretty consistent from him.
Yeah, he's got a really well-rounded game. He competes with the best of them when they're in Michigan, so it's always fun to have him on the channel.
Not sure about Kane. We haven't seen him at all. I haven't played or watched Kane before, but he looks pretty comfortable.
Heading to hole 18 now, 314 feet, par 3. As we talked about previously, you really want to put a disc on this angle here and let it ride to that right the whole way here. This tree that we're passing by on the right side is really the only thing in that lane that you got to avoid and try to finish hard to the right there by the basket.
Yeah, cutting it on the inside route is all right for a forehand. With the backhand, as I'm sure we're going to see a couple of, you want to lay it out super, super wide.
Marwede throwing that really flippy Firebird, hoping to, kind of create that angle out of it. Doesn't get much ground action, but he's got a long putt from there. We all know that's well within his ability to bang it.
Geoff going with his roller play from the previous round. Crazy flippy driver and just laying it down. Really good cut angle, really good flip action from there. Rolling it up, almost hit the pin, and gets saved by that guardian tree too for the easy putt instead of rolling past it.
Yeah, so nice shot from him there.
Kane opting for the backhand line. Leaves it up pretty wide. Might be a little too much angle on that.
Yeah, and he hit one of those inside trees there. While we were waiting for Kane's shot, actually, this is from your perspective, don't it?
This is on the catch cam?
Yeah, we actually see George Bino's disc actually skip in for that for a skip ace in there. So we're just going to give a quick shout out to George Bino for getting our first ace on our camera.
Not quite on our card. Not sure if it counts for that, but congrats to George. Yeah. That definitely affects some placement in the top 8 here, too.
Yeah.
Getting a 1 on a hole that most people are going to 3.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how that plays into effect. Kyle getting a really good angle there. Maybe not as much forward skip action as he wanted, but he'll have a look from there.
Andy with a chance from deep. I'm sure he's not thrilled with where his drive is, but he's got a shot.
Oh, and he liked that shot. He thought he had hit that for sure. Just a little deep.
It's crazy how consistent Andy actually is from that distance. He's one of the only people in the world to be able to drain that putt with any sort of consistency.
Kane with a great run himself. Had to throw it through the woods, avoid a couple of trees, and he put it just a little too low, but great run from him. And Kyle, maybe just on the inside why he didn't jump out. He's a phenomenal jump putter. I'm surprised he didn't if he was just outside, but just left it a touch too short there.
Andy with an easy tap in on this 3. Geoff definitely creeping up here with 2 strokes behind.
Yep.
Now.
Yeah, 6 holes to play here. He's only 2 strokes back. He's did this earlier in the round, in round 3 as well, where he caught up a lot of strokes very quickly. So have to see what happens here headed into the next hole. See if he can get those strokes back and make it a game here. This is hole 1 at this course, 275 feet, par 3. There's a Mando there. The tree that's right past it is the Mando itself. You have to be to the right of that and try to follow this fairway where all the wood chips are at and try to maybe get a skip ace like we saw George Beno did from your catch cam previously. That's the kind of lie you're trying to get at. If you go high, you can try to air it there. You're just kind of asking it a little bit more, I think, for a little bit luck-wise.
Yeah, Beno definitely taking the correct play on this, just to throw it in the basket from the tee.
And really, this is rare. A misfire from Geoff there, actually going the inside of that tree. Wasn't sure if maybe it crossed over that sign, but the card making the decision that did not cross anywhere within the limit there. So he has missed the Mando. He'll have to go to the drop zone. Marwede trying to go wide and hyzer and hits an early tree again. He'll have a contested look from there. See if he can maybe save his 3.
Kane puring the gap here. Doesn't quite get through the guardian trees, but gets a pretty fortunate kick to give himself not an easy putt, but a comfortable putt for sure.
Yeah, I think it wasn't quite hyzering enough, but it ended up working out for him, is just getting that kick. And Kyle getting past the Mando, then hitting a tree and kicking left. So he's going to be safe. He just has to go up from there.
Andy lucky to be far back enough from the Mando to not have to pitch, and he gets to bite off a little bit of distance. Definitely not what he wanted, but it's all right.
Yeah, when he threw that, he thought for sure he had laced that. He was going to give himself a 3 look, but it ended up hitting another one of those plinko trees and left himself short. And Geoff doing the same thing, actually hitting a similar tree. Marwede here really needs to be careful, needs to get up and down if he's wanting to get that stroke back from Geoff and pad that lead.
Every time he's got that blue pig in his hand, if he's got a straight shot, he's going to put it under the basket.
That blue pig is almost equivalent to Ian Hamilton's pole cap, I would say.
So consistent.
Yeah, it's just they always end up by the basket. Kyle just like kind of pitching a big putt up there, up into the circle.
Geoff with a run from deep, but didn't really like it out of the hand.
Yeah, just knew he left it a little too short there, but it was a great line. He'll have a tap in from there.
Kane, what a drive.
Yeah, phenomenal shot from him.
Really showing up to play and attacking this Kyle's third place here.
Yeah, well, he's doing a nice job so far. Marwede cleaning up his bogey. Not what he wanted to do here, but 2 rough shots, one off the tee, and his second shot just didn't go the way he wanted it to. He'll have to settle for that 4.
So Marwede is fortunate enough to be in a position right now where he doesn't have to beat everyone. He only has to beat Geoff. They have some separation on this third place race here. That with Geoff taking a double, Marwede is still taking a stroke on him with his bogey.
Yep, 3-stroke lead on him, 5-stroke on everyone else. Headed into hole 2, 305 feet. Again, this is going to take the drone path through the woods on the left side here. A lot of people are going to try to go through the gap on the right side and go over the water, which is a hyzer right-hand play. But here through the woods, if you miss all these plinko trees, you might be able to give yourself a deep look, but you're going to have a lot of trees in contention. You're just trying to get yourself an open look and try to make a putt.
So this right-hand hyzer line is the most consistent play. And if you do hit one of the guardian trees up to the basket, your disc probably came back in bounds, and you'll be able to take your OB shot right next to the pin for an easy 3. Kane coming in a little early, but got across. He's going to have an easy 3 and a shot at 2.
Yep, absolutely. Just we'll have to see where his lie is at with those trees. Kyle actually threading the needle through the skinny gap between those 2 trees. I think he actually didn't mean to do that, but getting a lot of ground action over those roots. He's actually going to put himself a little deep. We'll see if he can convert on that circle 2 putt.
Marwede really comfortable throwing the forehand line. Even if it is a little tighter, Marwede's going to hit it. So Andy doesn't get quite the action he wants, but he hit his gap, and he's going to have an easy 3 and a look at 2.
No, I think he's comfortable losing a stroke on this hole, if maybe, because he understands that there's a bit of luck making sure that you avoid all those trees.
And he just doesn't want to lose 2 strokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bennett making a very good drive. He's definitely the best placed drive of the card to put himself for that 2 look.
A little bit of wind in Marwede's face here. Didn't quite keep it high enough. As you can see, he's a little disappointed. Definitely wanted to make a better attempt at that one. Kane with a relatively open look. He's got to get down just a little high and left of that basket. This is a really, you can see the leaves pushing with Kyle here. Just a lot of wind action as he skips off the top of the basket. Kind of hard to get a good putt off of this.
Yeah, Kyle directly into the headwind. Geoff kind of has a cross. He converts, though. Takes a stroke back on Andy.
Yeah, gets it back within 2 going into the next hole. And nice job there from Kane cleaning up his par. Kyle will be close behind doing the same, and Marwede will clean up his par as well. I think they're making sure they're being courteous of one another, making sure they're going in the proper order. Headed into hole 3, 475-foot par 4. As mentioned before, the OB running along the entire right side of this has been eliminated. So there's no OB on the right side. Just really trying to attack this right side, though. If you have this kind of power, if you're someone like Jared Stoll, you try to go hyzer around it. Otherwise, you can try to attack into the gap. I think the safe play is just to go wide right, throw an upshot, and give yourself a easy 3 look.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to put themselves in position where if everything goes right, they're going to get there. But if everything goes wrong, they're still going to take an easy 3.
Yep.
Geoff was very nice turnover on his disc. Doesn't quite have the height to continue.
Yeah, it just kind of dropped out of the air a little bit, surprisingly. Headwind just kind of knocked him down a little bit, and so not as much distance as he wanted, but he'll still be well within position to be able to take a 3 from that spot.
Kane with a beautiful line, but just a little bit too stable. Not quite hard enough. But he puts himself in a path. We've seen Marwede hit that too from a very similar spot.
Yeah, absolutely. So he'll have a look from there. Kyle throwing something. I think a Destroyer probably are in that realm. And just like previously, the other 2 guys who threw, they definitely got a little bit of flip over from the wind, and Kyle's just never did. And just leaves himself wide left there, and he's going to have a really tough spot trying to save that 3 if maybe even a 4. Whoa.
Marwede ripping flat. A lot more speed than the other guys. A little bit of turn. And this passes that first gap with speed, too. Comes in a little early.
But he's got himself a C2 look there. Circle's edge.
Just enough distance to get himself just outside of C1.
Yeah, crushed it 450 and gave himself a look.
That's a huge backhand drive from our almost exclusively forehand player.
You're right. He just really trusted that Destroyer and just to do the right thing. Geoff doing the smart thing here, just leaving something out wide, pins the basket there, got himself an easy tap in for 3. We'll have to see how it plays.
Kane definitely has a lane here. Tries to float one in, but not quite enough height from Kane. Coming off the cage for his eagle too, but still a beautiful drive.
Absolutely.
And a beautiful run for an easy 3.
Kyle with a strange push out there. It was a little high, but it was definitely had a lot of chains behind it. Surprised it didn't catch that. Here's Marwede here from just inside circle. Oh no, we have back-to-back basket, no catch moments there.
Hits what he would call the 6 pocket, gets some chains, gets some cage, gets some more chains, and then just not a chance.
Just didn't, never went in. It's just an unfortunate result there. And we'll move on to the next hole here as we are hitting another alternate hole, hole A, 300 feet, par 3. This one is definitely a favorable to a forehand or a lefty shooter. You want to throw something wide into this gap here and let the disc's natural stability kind of filter down into this lane. A little bit of ground action, not too much, hopefully gets you up in towards the basket and you're trying to take a 2 here. Definitely plays a little more difficult than the layout here actually suggests.
Landing zone here is kind of short and a little bit to the right of the basket and then make your circle putt. I think you're not trying to get underneath the basket. Beautiful skip angle from Geoff, but it forward skips into the bushes.
Yeah, absolutely. And side note as well, as he had lost his 2019 Firebird before the round started while he was warming up, it had been discovered during the round, so it is now back in his hand. And so as much as that's a Firebird that he relies on, I wonder how much that's going to play into effect here, that he played an entire round with a different Firebird, and now he's going to go back to the one that he's hasn't been throwing all day.
Kane getting that forward skip as well after coming in on a good skip angle. And then Andy, the exact same thing. Some very strange ground action coming in at what seems to be a really nice angle and hitting a little nose down and skipping forward into the brush. So they're going to be scrambling for their 2 look. Kyle comes in at the exact same angle, and he hard flare skips to the right. So he's
Yeah.
a little obstructed as well, but definitely gets that easier step out than the other three guys.
He's going to be running this one a little deep. Even though Kyle Williams does have a forehand, he definitely relies on his backhand most of the time. He's been very similar to Ian Hamilton that way. So often when he is throwing a forehand, he'll call it the unicorns coming out, and he'll, because he doesn't do it too often. Marwede pitched out. He'll have a putt for 3. Geoff doing the same thing from inside the woods there. He's going to have a 3 look as well.
Yeah, I'd really like to see some more forehands from Kyle and from Ian in these sort of tournaments. I think they're good enough, and I think they just need to pretend to be confident until they start going in.
Good run from Kane, just a little wide right there. He had to be on a knee there in order to have a chance at that putt.
Geoff inside circle.
Easy work. Able to convert that 3 nicely. Have Kane from a similar distance as well.
Definitely crouches a lot less than he normally does on these elevated putts. He kind of stands himself up a little more upright and kind of aligns himself with the basket for a better release angle. Easy elevated putt from Marwede. That's just how he putts anyways.
Yeah, it's already at his head level, so.
His putts also just go really, really high, even if the basket is on the ground.
Kyle Williams with a nice job there. Tapping his in.
4 pars here, not what they wanted coming into it, but definitely not losing strokes.
Heading into hole 4 now, 210 feet par 3. This is an island hole where kind of the island is shaped like a C around it. The drop zone is off to the right and probably 50 feet or so, and it's very dangerous from that position to try to save your 3 from that spot. So you really just want to make the island as best you can, give yourself a look.
This is the second to last hole in the tournament.
Yeah,
for the final 9.
Yeah, so the layout didn't follow the normal course record, and for these final 9, we started on the stretch so that we'd end on the big hole last. So this is our 8th hole of the final 9 here. And Kane there not quite able to turn it over enough. I think he made the island, though, along with Geoff as well, but not quite what they were looking for.
Marwede not with the shot he wanted with that pig. He left it a lot of hyzer, but kept it well within bounds for an easy putt.
I've never seen that pig go on that much hyzer, ever, out of his hand.
Yeah, I think he was afraid of turning it over, or not turning it over. Yeah, just leaving it left like the other 3 guys.
Yeah. Kyle, unfortunately, had a bit of an early release there. He's going to go OB, so from the drop zone, he's trying to save it. And that's another part of this putt as well, that if you go too deep, you're going to be finding yourself in that foliage as well. We'll see if he can scramble and save that 4.
Yeah, Kyle falling off of the race here and losing to Kane at the moment. He's going to be in even more danger as Kane puts himself in a slightly more commanding 3rd place, but he misses his putt. He's right around circle's edge and really wanted that one to be in some sort of contention for some cash.
For sure. Marwede trying to take that birdie, and another stroke again from Bennett. Just keeping it very comfortable with that 3-stroke lead.
Marwede finally allowing himself to be able to play this final 9th hole safer and safer, as OB strokes are the only thing at this point really going to lose him the tournament.
For sure, and this last hole has lots of danger to it as we get to it in a moment, as Kane will tap in his putt, and so will Geoff as well.
Yep, Geoff has to get aggressive on this last hole.
Got to hope for a 3.
And he also has to have some unfortunate things happen to Marwede as we go to the signature hole of this course.
Yeah, absolutely. Hole 5 to B's location. It pans off to the right here. You're trying to get past these first 2 big trees in the fairway, get into this first landing zone. There's OB roped off on that creek on the left side the whole way down the fairway. Lots of OB to be aware of. Your second shot, if you're trying to play for the 4, needs to be up past this big tree in the fairway, trying to give you a look up this lane up towards the basket. If you get a great first shot, you get a little way up there, you can give yourself a look at maybe getting up here in 2 and maybe take a birdie look, but it's 2 incredible shots, and you have to get a little bit lucky.
Plus, with this backhand turnover on the aggressive shot off the tee, you're putting yourself in much more contention to land out of bounds.
Marwede is honestly going to play as safe as possible. I think he's willing to just take a 5 on this hole with no OBs and just force Geoff to really go gunning for this and try to get that 3.
Yeah, I think Marwede's playing for the 4, but if anything somewhat unfortunate happens, he's going to be really happy taking a 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And Geoff is able to get just a little past him. We'll see how aggressive they get from that spot.
Yeah, so Geoff isn't playing for the 3 from the tee pad. He's kind of playing a layup shot, and then he's going to try to take a monster forehand to get his 3.
Yeah. Kane with an unlucky kick hit some foliage and it spit immediately to the left into the OB position. Kyle throwing a second unicorn forehand for him, and he's done a nice job of it. He's up into the fairway. We'll see what these guys can do from here.
Kyle, I'm sick of the complaining. Just throw more forehands. You're really good at it.
Kane does a nice job here following the fairway. He's got to stay away from this OB and does so nicely. He'll be in a good position to hopefully get up and down for his par.
Just taking 1 stroke on this isn't too bad. He should be able to keep himself in that 3rd place position.
Yeah. Marwede kind of sawing this one off. I don't think he's getting very aggressive. I think he's just keeping it onto the right side. Just leaves it a little short of that lane that he needs to be in, so hopefully he'll be able to get up and down from that spot. Kyle kind of doing something similar. Threw a forehand. Maybe the disc was a little too stable for what he was trying to do there.
I think Kyle and Andy from this spot are both just afraid of the OB strokes and nothing else.
Yeah. Geoff really trying to go way over the top. Big. This is his roller disc normally. He's trying to flip this way over the top and try to attack that gap, and unfortunately probably caught the last foot of branches and foliage, and it just kicked him straight into the OB, just dashing his 8th state championship hopes.
Pretty good scramble style shot from Kyle here.
Yeah, backhand, and he just puts himself in the bottom of the lane. Will give himself a look. Kane doing a nice job as well. That's a great landing spot near the top of the hill. You'll have some footing that's a little sloped, but he'll be able to scramble that. And looks like Geoff Bennett's trying to put himself in the same spot as well, just tap in that par.
Yeah, a lot of these disc golfers at this level prefer uphill putts to downhill putts just because there's less danger if you miss.
Marwede literally just can go up and then 2-putt this, and he's going to win this state title, and so he's put himself in a similar position as well. Kyle with a big jump putt and a great catch there, catching the last chain. Nice job
Great
for Kyle.
looking putt. Andy's still pretty young, both as a person and in his disc golf career. Never won a state championship before, even at his level in disc golf. Beautiful putt to close out. Just a beautiful tournament.
Absolutely.
Really well played, smart played from Andy.
Kane with an unfortunate kind of push there, unable to finish off his tournament with that putt there. Geoff looking to close out his day. Unfortunate bogey there with that OB kick. Made a valid run at it. No shame there. Did a nice job and challenged Marwede all weekend long. As Kane taps out, and that will do it, as Marwede is going to walk away with the 2020 state championship. This final 9 here, just a couple birdies, 1 bog, not very super aggressive, but didn't need to be, as he just needed to kind of like stave off whatever the other players were doing, and did a nice job there. And our final standings here, Marwede with the 22 down, Bennett at 18, and Bino sneaking into 3rd with that ace, helping him get into that neg 15 slot. And then we have several tied for 4th place, including Barham.
Yeah, very cool that it was kind of a 5-way tie for 4th place there, but Bino with his ace took his 2 to a 1 to beat everyone by 1 stroke. Big shout out to Andy. Huge win for him in his disc golf career, the highest rated player ever in Michigan.
Yeah, looking forward to see what he does in the future along with the rest of Michigan pros. Thanks again to our Patreon for watching and supporting us, and we'll see you guys at the next event.